in the countryside, nestled along the slopes of jungle-covered mountains, lie some of Taiwan's most unique and beautiful places. Ancient villages that seem as if they come from an anime, historic traditions, and natural hot springs showcase a side of Taiwan that stands in stark contrast to its vibrant city life.
This is like so steep.
In this video, I'll embark on a new adventure to explore Taiwan's famous village, often said to have inspired the popular anime Spirited Away. I'll travel around on local trains.
So we arrived to Jioufen now.
Sample some of the country's most popular delicacies.
Ni hao.
I get to know some of the local customs and relax in radioactive hot springs to soak in their believed healing properties. Come with me to experience what Taiwan's countryside has to offer.
Welcome back to Taipei. The last couple of days I explored the city, and today it's time to explore the surrounding areas. There are lots of cute ancient villages, and I'm here at the bus station waiting for the bus. Today my plan is to visit this anime town, and the next couple of days I will also visit some other ancient towns here in rural Taiwan. I'm very excited, so let's wait for the bus and then go. And there, guys, is our bus coming.
The bus ride was actually very comfortable and convenient. Plus, it offered a fantastic view out the window. The whole island is wrapped in mountains and jungle, creating breathtaking landscapes. Along the way, we also passed through several small towns that seemed very interesting to me.
We've already arrived. The bus was super quick, maybe like 30-40 minutes. And look at this view over here. This is absolutely beautiful. It is also much colder here than it is in Taipei. I already put on a second jacket underneath. And now, let's go to the guest house, drop the bags, and then let's have a look around.
Jioufen is renowned for its picturesque scenery, historical charm, and cultural significance. Today, hundreds of tourists visit daily to explore the town's historic old street, lined with tea houses, shops, and street food vendors, offering traditional Taiwanese snacks. But before I visited the charming old town, I had to get to my accommodation.
It's a bit hard to find the accommodation because a lot of these little paths like this one are not on Google Maps.
The town is built on the steep slopes of a mountain, so you'll have to climb lots of stairs to get around.
Wow, this is like so steep.
Soon, I reached my accommodation. I've decided to spend the night to experience Jiufen's true charm, which comes alive after sunset.
Ni hao. So, here we are arrived, and I'd say I'm gonna drop my bag here and then we go explore.
To access the historic town, I had to climb even more stairs. I can imagine that navigating these stairs in the summer, with its thick heat, beaming sun, and biting mosquitoes, must be quite challenging. I'm glad I chose to visit in January, which is much cooler but also one of the rainiest months.
So I think here we're at the main tourist area, the old street, and it's pretty busy because there are a lot of day trippers coming here on tours. So I guess let's just check it out. There are lots of shops, and so it's said that this town here inspired the creator of Spirited Away, very, very famous anime. And for me personally, one of the best films ever made. And I can definitely see like the similarities, like with all the red lanterns everywhere. these very small alleyways with like all these ancient houses up here. I definitely see some similarities to the movie.
Despite online claims that Jioufen inspired the famous anime, the creator of Spirited Away, Hayao Miyazaki, has stated that he was actually unaware of Jioufen.
They're making coffee here. Look at this. This is the powder. This is where it drips through. And up here they have like a huge ice cube. That is very interesting. It's probably iced coffee, I'm not sure though.
There's something new to discover around every corner.
That here is some really smelly stinky tofu behind me. Like the whole street, you smell this tofu, but once it's fried, it does not taste like it smells. So it actually tastes pretty good, but the smell, yes, not the best.
The narrow streets aren't only lined with stalls selling stinky tofu, but also feature various eateries, numerous souvenir shops, and some ancient tea houses. Here is the Jioufen tea house, one of the most popular ones in Jioufen, and the town's oldest tea house, housed in a century-old building. Here, you can enjoy high-quality tea and visit the small art gallery on the lower level. Though I usually drink store-bought tea, I was tempted to try a fine brew here. However, the $20 price tag felt a bit steep for me, so I decided to pass. Jiufen's true charm comes to life when the sun sets and the red lanterns are lit. At night, the streets transform into a cinematic setting, and it feels like walking through the streets of Spirited Away. As the evening progresses, the crowds thin, and by 8 p.m. most shops begin to close. Many tour groups have already left by this time, giving me the chance to soak in the unique atmosphere of Jiufen's old street.
Good morning from the second day from Jioufen. Unfortunately, the weather seems to be pretty bad out here.
So I brushed my teeth, grabbed my bag, and went to check out.
And let's have a look outside. Yep, the weather does not look very great. But I'd say we go to the bus station, and on the way we're gonna have some coffee and some breakfast. I wanna show you a Taiwanese delicacy that you can find at all the convenience stores here in the country.
My plan was to try the delicacies at one of Taiwan's most iconic family mart.
And so this is what I'm gonna try. Tea eggs. I've tried them before. I was actually very scared the first time I tried them because they don't look very appealing to me. They are in this brown broth all day. But they're actually really good.
You can find these eggs basically at any convenience store here in Taiwan.
So I got my coffee here, I got my eggs, and before I start eating them I wanna show you the view because this view is actually amazing.
The view from here is also what makes this family mart so special.
You see all the clouds here in the mountains because this is literally just jungle over here. But now let's try the tea egg here. Let's open them. That's them. They are boiled in a mixture of tea, soy sauce, and some herbs. And they're actually really good. I was very scared the first time I tried them, but I'll show you. It's a bit brown. And it basically just tastes like tea flavored egg. I really like them. Like they're the perfect snack, I think. Cheers.
And then I took a bus to another ancient town in rural Taiwan. With winding mountain roads, the bus ride was far from comfortable, but the view out of the window was breathtaking, with nothing but lush green mountains.
We finally made it. We are here in Pingxi, and that bus ride took quite a while because the mountain roads are super windy. And now we're here, Pingxi. Another ancient town, and I'd say we have a look across the river over there and see what we can find. Right now there don't seem to be many people here, so let's see if there's stuff going on over there and we can find anything. Oh, up here, can you see that? That is a lantern, because these villages here, these small little villages, are popular for these lanterns. So you can buy a lantern and you write your wishes onto it, and then you release it into the sky, and yeah, you hope your wishes come true. However, all of this around here is like jungle mountains, and eventually this lantern will just die and fall down into the nature. So there are groups that have voiced environmental concerns.
This is exactly why I decided against buying one of those lanterns. I'm sure there are other ways to make my wishes come true. A few minutes later, I arrived at the old street of Pingxi, and the first thing I noticed was how quiet it was. But the lack of crowds was actually really nice. Soon, I found some shops selling lanterns.
你好。
你好，参考一下。Yellow money.
Money.
可乐
Yeah.
Purple lucky star.
Shishi. So here you can see different lanterns for different wishes, such as good health or money. And over here we see a lot of people like writing on the lanterns before they release them. And here we have the lanterns with different faces. You can get plain ones or some with like animal faces.
Since I wasn't planning on releasing a lantern myself, I continued exploring the town.
So up here there is a train going to the next town, Jioufen, where we will go next. And this is a really cool view here with the water down here and then the buildings on the side. It's similar on the other side of the bridge. I'm gonna show you. Look at this. All the balconies hanging over the river here. And then of course the mountains in the background. Here we are, Pingxi Station. Before we go in, have a look over here on the other side. So that is what a rural town here in Taiwan looks like. It's built in the jungle because Taiwan is a small island and it's very, very mountainous and very, very dense with jungles. Pretty much everywhere where it's possible to build towns and cities, they've built towns and cities already. So you can see like all this town here is built along the river in the valley, and then behind just like jungle with very lush green foliage. So now let's have a look into the train station, which is over here, and let's see if we can find a train schedule.
All of Taiwan is connected by public trains, which makes traveling across the island very easy and convenient.
So this train station here dates back to the times when they had steam engines running here.
The small local train runs like every hour, and soon it arrived.
And this is our train to the next town. Let's go in.
The The view from the train was absolutely beautiful, but as we approached the next town, the sight of lantern remnants tangled in bushes and trees lowered my mood. The natural beauty here in Taiwan is incredibly diverse and stunning, and seeing the impact mass tourism has on it was quite sad.
So we arrived to Jioufen now. It was a quick train ride. It took maybe like 20 minutes. But it was super beautiful. And look at this, guys. All these lanterns up there. We just saw so many lanterns everywhere here in the nature, in the river, in the trees. And there are like easily 10-15 lanterns flying here in the sky right now that will all go down here in nature and nobody's gonna pick them up.
Shifen was much busier than Pingxi. There are two main reasons people visit. One is the train. Watching it leave the station and travel down the narrow streets flanked by old houses is quite special. This street is often compared to Hanoi's train street in Vietnam. The second draw is the lantern release. Here, you can see people launching their lanterns up close. Even in the constant drizzle, they fly high up into the sky thanks to their plastic-coated paper that prevents them from crashing in the rain.
Yeah, so this town here basically is just about releasing the lanterns. I know I was complaining a bit about the environmental concerns before, but it is still beautiful.
But at the same time, besides the colorful lanterns that are launched on a minute basis, there's not that much to see here.
I'm here in Beitou, a suburb of Taipei, which is famous for the country's most popular hot springs. And today I booked a package to visit the hot springs, a private one, a private bath. I have never done that before, so I'm really excited. And yeah, let's go.
This hot spring town was developed under Japanese rule, which established the first Japanese-style mineral baths using water from natural sulfur springs. Across town and in the nearby mountains, you can find multiple geothermal vents.
Before I go to the hot spring resort, I decided to visit a thermal valley that you can see down here. So this is where the hot water comes from. You can see all the steam rising because this water down here is like very, very hot. It's too hot to actually swim in there, and you can really smell the sulfur in the air everywhere. And there are like several hot springs here in the mountains around town, and this is where all these resorts get their water from. And now I'm gonna go to the resort to try it myself.
It's said that these hot springs are slightly radioactive and have certain healing properties. I managed to get a private bath at the Spring City Resort for about $15 for an hour. You can fill the bath yourself, but once the water started flowing, a strong sulfur smell filled the room.
The water is really nice and warm, but it really does remind me a lot of onion breath, the smell, so I definitely have to take a shower after this. I just finished the hot spring experience. It was really nice. Very, very hot. That's why I'm here in my top outside now, even though we have only like 18-19 degrees Celsius or something. And it's pretty windy. That's why it's just perfect out here in the breeze. And look at all these mountains here. So green, it's beautiful.